What's up, beautiful people? Today we're talking about something critical: how to use the time that we have in order to get the things done and appreciating where we are no matter where it is. And let's be honest and put something out there immediately. We are constantly chasing the next vacation, the next home, the next car, the next purse, the next new system, the next organization, the next closet, the next clothing, the next highlight reel. And social media doesn't make it any easier because everything that you constantly see is always the best of what everybody has to bring. But that's just not the reality of where we live. And quite honestly, it's not the reality of where I live. So today we're going to have a very honest, candid conversation about where we are, how to take where we are and still achieve the things that we hold dear to us without totally comparing and killing our joy. So let's go ahead and get started. Because this is the thing, when you are perpetually running and chasing after the next thing, when you finally grab whatever it is that you think that you needed to grab, it's not even as validating as you expected. If you finally lose the weight or you finally run the 5K, you're proud of yourself in the moment, but then it's like, what's the next thing I should be doing? And I think that we as society have just totally done a disservice to women. Like, when is enough ever enough? Why does it always have to be I achieved this, therefore I need to go after the next realm? And I'm not talking about having low expectations, because that's certainly not what I'm suggesting. But I'm saying that that's tiring. And it's not just tiring, it's soul tiring. So this is where the shift happens. For me, I started to ask myself, what is good in my life right now? What is around me that I have joy about? And that's where we're starting. I want you to pause right now, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and I want you to think on an actual day, what's good about your day to day? Not the day you wish you had, not the intentions that you planned at 6 a.m. in the morning, not the things that you put on your post-it the night before when you were time blocking. What was actually good about your day to day? What parts do you actually enjoy of your day? For me, I love my quiet start to the day. I love my morning routine. I love my coffee. I love coming home after work and picking out my clothes and feeling empowered and thinking about the next day. I love that little time of window where I'm time blocking. I love the conversation on my way home and my daughter telling me about her day. Like, what is it that you like about your day? Once you make a list of those things, or once you identify those things, I want you to hold on to that, because those are going to be the things that we're going to be protecting, because those are the things that are bringing us joy. They're the foundation of your good life right now. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to get off the comparison train. And this is so critical, because between Instagram, TikTok, your friends, Facebook, whatever it is, you're constantly seeing everyone's best. Even when you see them vulnerable, that's often carefully curated as well. And I mean, you're not going to compare your life to anyone, not your siblings, not your friends, not random people on the internet, not me, not anybody. Because what we know time and time again is that comparison is the thief of joy. It robs you of your ability to enjoy your own journey. I mean, you could be doing amazing things, making progress, hitting goals, but then the moment you compare yourself to somebody else that's just one step ahead of you, then all of that is deflated. And that is not what we are doing when we're talking about living our best lives and capitalizing on the time that we have. Because this is the thing, your friend's business doesn't have to be your business. Your favorite influencer's morning doesn't have to be your morning routine. None of it has to match yours at all, y'all. You're allowed to move at your own pace. You're allowed to want different things. You're allowed to go against the narrative. You're allowed to live the life that you have in front of you. And I think that if you really start with number one, what is it you enjoy about your life? And then number two, followed very closely by your own path and your own way forward, you will see how you are able to truly clock into the things that matter the most to you. So do an audit. What makes you feel inadequate? Who are you currently following on social media that probably doesn't make you feel your best? Who are the people that when you get in your space, you feel less than when you need to? Sometimes it's not about the other person. Sometimes it's about you. So starting there doesn't mean you remove people from your life. It doesn't mean you don't call your sister, but it does mean that you step back and you do some gut checking about what it is that they have going that makes you, I don't want to use the word jealous, but makes you feel anything less than what you should be feeling. And this one right here is the most important, I think, that I could tell you. Keep it simple. When we're talking about utilizing the time that we have to do the things we do, we don't need a 47-step system of organization in order to get those things done. All those complicated routines and optimization hacks, they are good in some places, a little nugget here, a little nugget there, but overall, you don't need to capitalize and adopt this intricate system in order to capitalize on the time that you actually have available. Now, remember at the beginning when I told you to write down those things that really mattered dear to you? Now we're going to take those 3 to 5 things, or how many things there were, and we are going to make sure that when we plan our day, that those things are protected at all costs, and we purposely find a way to incorporate those things into our day. So for me, if I love my morning routine, then that's what I'm going to protect. That's the time I'm going to protect. I'm going to make sure that nothing is interfering with it, because this is the thing. The key to getting the things done that you really want to get done is not about complexity. It's about sustainability. It's about consistency. So the goal isn't to create a system that's intricate in order to get it done. The goal is to create a system that allows you to get it done consistently enough where you're able to sustain it. This is why things like fad diets don't work, extreme workouts don't work, because in the long run, they're not sustainable. So ask yourself, what 3 to 5 things, if I did these things regularly, would I feel my best? That's where your time needs to be focused on. And this one right here, this one kind of rocks you to the core. Define what is enough. And we all have a different definition of what enough is. So stay with me in case you're like, what do you mean, what is enough? Enough is, what is it that you would get to this point where it's enough? What would be the number on the scale where you're like, this is enough? What would be the amount of money in your bank account where you're like, this is enough? What would your husband or spouse have to do to make you realize that this is the person that you're meant to be with? What is enough? What do your kids have to do to make you feel like you're a good parent? Like, what is enough? Because the thing is, when there is no deadline, when there is no finish line, when it's constantly moving, then you're never reaching the target and you're never enough. I'll give you something that's a real life example for me. My husband rolls his eyes about this all the time. I would consider us pretty financially stable. And so we have a savings account, and I'm like, oh, we need to put this much money in the savings account. And he is constantly like, Diaka, is Armageddon happen? Like, what is it that you think is going to happen where this amount of money that's currently in our account would not be enough to cover if we lost the job or this happened? He's like, what life event do you think is going to happen that you would need that type of money in a savings account sitting there just in case? And he one day literally looked at me in the eye and he said, tell me a number. I was like, what do you mean? Tell me a number that's enough where you would be like, if we have this much money in a savings account, you would be cool. And then I was like, well, I don't know. What do you mean? It depends. He was like, no, tell me a number. And when I really thought about it, I was like, here's the number. And when we hit that number, I had a hard time not thinking I should still keep putting more in my account. But the number was the number. It was enough. It is enough. And that's my point. What's enough for you in the things that you have going on in your life where you're like, I can step back. I can let this go. Enough is enough. I don't have to be constantly chasing the next thing. And remember, enough isn't about a settling. It's not about not growing. It's about giving yourself permission to actually arrive. So let me give you some real life examples real quick of what this looks like in my life. So non-negotiable, my morning routine. It's just literally something that I have to do. I'm going to hold on it to dear life. I'm going to get up. I'm going to work out. I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to do those things. I can have chaotic other parts of my life. I could let this go. I may not hit that goal. I may not get to that event, but if I can keep that consistent for me, that's my non-negotiable, because it sets not just the foundation of my day, but I actually enjoy it. Number 2, for me, my weekly planning. I love to plan ahead of time. If you need any help on that, I've got multiple videos and I'll link one up here about how to plan, but that helps me with my compass for the week. And so that's my non-negotiable. It's a 20-minute process, usually on Sundays, that I do, but that's my plan. That helps me feel like I have the time to do things I need to do, because there's so many other things I could do, but if I could get that done, then I usually feel like I'm going in the right direction. My social life. Perfect example. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to be everywhere. I don't have to do everything. And I don't have to feel guilty about when I don't want to go somewhere and I don't want to be someplace doing things. Look, I'm going to tell y'all something. Don't judge me. I'm just not a social person. I know you're probably like, but you're on social media. I'm not a person that's like going to go out of my way to like go to a party or an event, or I'm not someone who's like, let's have this at our house. Almost everything that is our house is 99% of my husband is driving that. And he has a big family. My family's small, so that may be why it is the way it is, but I'm just not. But I don't feel guilty about it when I don't want to participate, but I participate because I love my husband. So those are just some practical things that I have going on in my life. And in closing, I want to reiterate this, and I want to make sure you understand this well. You don't have to blow up your whole life to have a good life. You don't have to intricate system for every component of your life. You have to have a system for the right parts of your life. I just told you the right part of my life is my morning routine. Lately, I've been working on my night routine, and now that I've been focusing and changing that a little bit more, I'm even more happy and more pleased and more pleasant, but I'll talk about that in another video. Because sometimes, y'all, the most powerful thing you can do is to stop running and be still. Build something simple that works for you. Stick with it. Give yourself permission to adjust. Your life is literally happening right now. Not in some future version that you've mapped out on a vision board. Your real life is happening right now in this moment, whatever time you're actually watching this video. It's passing you by. And if we spend so much of our time and energy trying to come up with the perfect system rather than sustain a simple system, then we're letting life pass us by. As always, I just want to encourage you all to live your best life forward, and hopefully this video has resonated with you. Leave a comment down below about what you do to make your life simple and to stick to the systems you have in place. As always, I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.